Hello and a very warm welcome to you all at today's IFFR press conference. After months of being down the tunnel of previewing, discussing and selecting films, it is my great pleasure to reveal the complete program today. This is always, of course, for all of us a very special moment, and perhaps never more so than this year. Finally, after two enforced online editions, IFFR 2023 will mark our full return to cinemas and to an in-person event all across the city of Rotterdam. So when visiting the festival this year, you will be immersed in a vibrant program consisting of over 400 films, talks, installations and performances. In addition, our pro-industry events such as Cinemart, Rotterdam Lab and Reality Check will fully return to our festival heart in De Doelen. So yes, you can definitely say that the Tiger has returned. And with that return, we will continue to invest in IFFR traditions, such as our commitments to East Asian cinema, or nurturing relationships with filmmakers with whom the festival has a long history, and challenging the status quo with focus programs like the one we will present about the changing socio-political landscape of India, called The Shape of Things to Come. In addition to the cinematic cultures IFFR has been supporting for decades, we have also looked deeper into regions that only recently grabbed more widespread attention, the Middle East and North Africa. Here, as everywhere else, we are looking at the broadest range of expressions possible. So we are proud to present the Middle East's biggest blockbuster of 2022, Egyptian master auteur Marwan Hamed's anti-colonial action epic, Kira and Elgin, as well as Iranian debut director Amen Feizabadi's essay film Beyond the Fences of Lalezar, which offers a rare recollections of pre-revolutionary Tehran life and how these memories still linger in the minds of many citizens today. So in short, as you can see, we have plenty to discuss about today. Members of the press, please feel free to ask us questions via the Q&A box under this screen. We will address a selection of those at the end of this presentation. So now let's get started with the big screen competition. This year, 16 titles have been selected to compete for the VPRO Big Screen Award. A jury of audience members will choose the winner, and the winning film receives a guaranteed theatrical release in the Netherlands and will be broadcast on Dutch TV by VPRO and NPO. In addition, a €30,000 prize is given equally shared between the filmmaker and the distributor who releases the film. Moving on to the Ammodo Tiger short competition, this year consisting of 24 films. The jury will together determine which 3 films will receive equal awards, each worth €5,000. International festivals of similar size and outreach as IFFR have in recent years either discontinued or scaled down their short film programs, especially regarding the presentation of avant-garde and artist films. And we, in contrast, did not. We still have a competition of some 24 works, ranging in style from José Cardozo's spiky political essay investigation, What the Soil Remembers, to Cho Sung-ho's playfully formalist meditation on a landscape, Zabriskie Point. From Michaela Flux and Misha Hedinger's concisely inventive literary adaptation, Felle, to Hanna Hovitia's partly animated music, Square the Circle. While many films come from English-speaking world, as one would expect from a selection with an off-center and modern spin, we are also pleased to present world premieres from countries like Bangladesh, Haiti, India, Spain or Greece, which are rarely screened in more experimental contexts. With short films having grown into IFFR's picture, with their own section and competition for over 2 decades now, it feels natural to us that this is a sphere of creativity to carefully cultivate. IFFR has a keen eye on future talents, often introducing themselves in Rotterdam by way of shorts. Some of the directors whose latest works are featured in this year's Tiger competition are known to IFFR audiences thanks to the shorts that got screened here. And that's, for instance, Gustav Geir Bolansson and Guido van den Werven. Additionally, we will screen an HBF-supported hardboard treat. Arnold is a model student by Sorayos Prapapan, who has screened several shorts here since 2014. The festival has become a meeting place for the world's short film culture, and we consider it our responsibility to not only keep this at home, but also to develop our support further. Now, let's move on to the Tiger competition. Out of 16 titles, the jury will choose the Tiger Award winner worth 40,000 euros, and the 2 special jury awards worth 10,000 euros each. The Tiger Award is IFFR's designated center, the selection in which the future of cinema is discussed, a future which refuses to be of one particular aesthetic. The range of expressions here is maybe more expansive than ever, and it includes just about everything imaginable. From a discreet documentary about aftermath of a genocidal war to closely observed realist portraits of young people. It goes on through extravagant essays in autobiographies, and we will also discover high formalist hybrids between fiction, documentary, and experiment. So, futures here are many, and it is for us to negotiate them. The outstanding feature of this year's competition is the strong presence of a region rarely featured here, and that's the Middle East and North Africa. Now, moving on to another part of our main program called Art Directions. Each year, IFFR celebrates all things audiovisual in Art Directions, an adventurous and multidisciplinary section that expands the realm of cinema to installations, immersive reality, exhibitions, music, and live performances. The full Art Directions lineup, including immersive reality selections and sound vision, will be announced in January. Time to move on to the next part, dedicated to the Robby Müller Award. The Robby Müller Award is selected in collaboration with the Netherlands Society of Cinematographers and Andrea Müller-Schirmer, Robby Müller's wife. The award annually honors an outstanding image maker in the spirit of the late Dutch cinematographer. So, it's my big pleasure to announce that this year's Robby Müller Award goes to Hélène Louvard. French cinematographer Louvard is on a continuous search for renewal and innovation. This has led her to work on award-winning films with worldwide singular and independent directors. And these include Jacques Doyon, Mia Hansen-Løve, Christophe Honoré, Agnès Varda, and Wim Wenders. In 2010, she started a long-standing collaboration with Italian director Alice Rohrwacher, with whom she has worked on 6 projects to date, including Lazzaro Felice. Recently, Louvard has also worked with American directors Maggie Gyllenhaal and Eliza Hittman. And here at the festival, we will screen her collaboration with Léonore Serrail, Un Petit Frère. As part of IFFR Talks program, cinematography writer Benjamin Bergery will speak to Louvard to explore the range of her images, projects, and collaborations, and also evoke the humanity that she brings, like Robby Müller, to her filmmaking. And this brings us to the Talks program. Each year, IFFR invites filmmakers and talents to discuss their work in a particular context. In recent editions, we were delighted to host incredible talents such as Bong Joon-ho, Kelly Reichardt, Mads Mikkelsen, and Claire Denis. As part of IFFR Talks in 2023, next to Hélène Louvert, we will welcome one of the most prominent directors in Italian cinematic history, and that is Marco Bellocchio, who will be here to talk about his latest work, Esterna Notte, among others. Furthermore, each of our focus programs will be accompanied by a dedicated talk. And these include critically acclaimed Japanese animator and filmmaker Yuasa Masaaki, Hungarian filmmaker and writer Judith Elek, whose career deserves its much long-awaited moment in the spotlight, and American interdisciplinary artist and 2012 Guggenheim Fellow Stanya Khan, and San Francisco experimental arts scene mainstay Tooth. The full IFFR Talks program will be announced in January. Now, let's move on to the opening film. As its opening night attraction, we chose a film full of echoes for the 10 days ahead. Munch, a biography of Norway's internationally most widely known modern artist. Or should we say, of the artists who gave the world an image everybody has seen, the scream. It's a motive that, like few others, encapsulates the experience of the 20th century, and that is the experience of existential alienation and angst. As the last years between COVID-19 and now the war in Ukraine have shown, that fear hasn't ended at the turn of the century. On the contrary, it might have even grown deeper due to the false comforts often found in, for instance, social media bubbles. And yes, all this can be found in Edvard Munch's art, and the director, Henrik Martin Dalsbakken, did find ways of narrating this subject and emotions in his film, which is not your average heritage cinema-style biopic. It is a mosaic vision of Munch between bodies and times, as he's played by several actors and shown in various time periods. Here, even the contemporary art market is a subject, and the same goes for what it means to be an outsider in a culture of conformism. As we know, IFFR has always championed the outsiders of cinema and has always understood its mission to be as much about rethinking the past as well as imagining futures different from those that seem inevitable at a given moment. Munch is about that and so much more. Last but not least, the closing film. We chose to close the festival with Varun Grover's All India Rank as a tribute to our massive special program, Shape of Things to Come. To offer perhaps a sense of tacit closure after all these days of confronting political divisions and violence found in so many countries of this world, but articulated nowhere else with a similar sense of complexity and erudition as found in this focus program. We were all enchanted by the classicism of All India Rank, the discreetly assured way of telling its coming-of-age story, which Grover makes feel universal in its appeal, while being very specific and personal at the same time. All India Rank is a different shape of things to come, that of the once and future cinema, which is an idea, almost a utopia, more than a specific space, technique, or culture. It is what IFFR believes in when it says that it is a festival dedicated to cinema. That is it. It's now time to answer some questions. Please submit your questions via the Q&A box underneath this screen. Okay, so now I'm going to start looking in my iPad and see what questions have been coming in, so please bear with me until I make my way through it. So I see a question that it's a very good one, and it says, besides Nummer 18, are there other Dutch films part of the program? And indeed, there are plenty of Dutch films this year in the program, ranging, of course, from our RTM Day, which is on 27th of January, on a Friday, dedicated to makers and artists from Rotterdam. And we are entirely going to occupy Lantaarnfester Cinema. Furthermore, in bright future, we have a fantastic film by Nassif Nia called Die Middag, That Afternoon. And furthermore, I think there are quite a few Dutch titles, of course, in the shorts, Zeno van den Broek, for instance, and 2 films in Harbor, and that's Dick Verdaal's film and Mascot by Remy van den Houten called. And further in our Limelight section, we have Goodbye Stranger by Arun Rokus. To read more about the titles which are part of the rest of the program, please do visit IFFR.com. And many thanks for joining us. And on behalf of the entire team, we are very much looking forward to welcoming you in person in Rotterdam. See you soon.